This video is brought to you by Power Performance Products, where you can get $10 off your purchase of Body Storm and Body Effects.
Now I want to go back in time, kind of get a timeline of your athletic career and when it started and kind of getting to this point.
My athletic career, let's see. Growing up, I was always involved in sports, and I have two brothers, Joe and Adam. I have twin brother Joe, obviously, and we played sports growing up, baseball, football. I loved sports. I loved competition. Let's see. But when I got to high school, I was big into baseball. I played baseball for a while. I was a catcher. I was kind of small. I liked to play baseball though for a while. And same thing with football. Football was always fun. I was not very big. I was kind of this smaller guy, so it was hard to pursue a career in football.
Yeah.
But
when did you start wrestling?
I started wrestling when I was in college. Actually, after I was already fighting in MMA when I started wrestling.
Wow.
I was 20.
So how did you get into fighting? Sort of. How did that sort of fall into place?
I started training as a hobby. I went and watched a buddy of mine. I worked at 24-hour Fitness at a fitness gym back in Omaha, and a buddy of mine that I worked with was a boxer, and he started fighting MMA, and I had no idea what it was. I went and watched him fight at a casino, and it was kind of like, I was kind of hooked. I thought it was cool, and I started training just for fun. As a hobby, I started doing kickboxing and jiu-jitsu, and it was still a hobby for a while. And like most guys, I was just a fan of the sport, and I fought a few times and was doing well. So I just kept progressing, kept doing more and more. But I started in high school. I was actually in swimming and diving, and it was fun. I loved the water, so that was always fun in high school. I was an All-American in springboard diving too, which a lot of people don't know about that. And I got a couple offers to dive in college too, but I didn't really have any desire to continue that. My twin brother Joe, who started wrestling when he was about 13, he kind of got me into it. He got me into, he was a fan of Tito Ortiz and a lot of the MMA, and I kind of had no idea what it was. And he wrestled through high school, and then when I started getting into MMA, we started wrestling together just for fun. He put me in chokes, and then we'd be fighting, and the next thing you know, our parents are losing their mind. But, I started going to college after I started fighting, but again, fighting was still MMA to me.
So how old were you when you had your first fight? 18?
20.
20?
Yeah, I was 20 actually.
Okay. And you had your first fight before Joe had any?
Actually, we fought the first time the same night. Funny story though. I took a fight just for fun. Actually, it's before I even really started training, to be honest. It was not very smart, but I was just kind of like we'll fight, whatever.
At least the sport was young then.
Yeah, and
but the wrestlers around there.
My brother was wrestling in college, and actually, I got him a fight too the same night, but he didn't know that until he got there. And he was kind of surprised, but it was a good surprise. Like, hey, you want to fight? And he ended up fighting, but we both fought the same night and won. And it was kind of like, it was kind of hooked. I liked it a lot. And my brother, he was in shape. He was in the middle of the season for wrestling, so he was in shape and kind of did it for fun. And just kind of kept going from there. I went to college at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, and after I had a good handful of fights, it was like, man, I really need to learn how to wrestle. For example, Jay Huron, when I lost to him, because he took me down and basically laid on me and won a decision, and I realized, in order to compete at a high level in MMA, I need to learn how to wrestle. So, at the time I walked onto Nebraska, Omaha, they were 3-time Division II national champs, and one of the best rooms in the country, really. And it was hard every day. It was ridiculous. Like, I was trying to learn a sport that is one of the most least rewarding and the hardest working sports there are, in my opinion. And to go into a room like that, I don't think I got a takedown for 2 years. It was like every day I'd be going to the locker room, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? This sucks. And they're just like, keep going. And eventually it pays off. So I ended up, I was there for 4 seasons. I got to wrestle with some of the best guys in the country, and I learned a lot. So and it's helped me out. It's helped me. It's a big reason why I'm here where I am today.
That's pretty crazy that you were even able to make a team with not having much background in it at all, even at a college level.
Yeah. The coach, Mike Denny, is a good friend of mine. We did a lot of judo together. He was a black belt in judo, and really, really good. So we kind of played around in the gi a lot, and and he let me walk on and train with the team, work out with them, and I wrestled in a lot of the opens for fun. And why you would do that is it's not fun, but it's helped me where I am today, though. So I don't regret it.
Please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter at MMA Interviews and at Spencer Lazara. Look for more pieces of the MMA Today show with Jake Ellenberger coming out soon.